Hi FlossTube Stitchers, welcome back to my channel, Just Stitching Inc., which is also the name of my brick and mortar shop and my business profiles on Facebook and Instagram if you want to check out my daily posts there. I'm going to start today with 3 vintage finishes. As I told you last time, I was going to try to do some Halloween decorating for the first time in years because I tend to just skip right to Thanksgiving. And by saying it out loud and practically promising that I would do it, it got my butt in gear and I did do some decorating at home and I found some things that I had really forgotten about. So it works perfectly for my vintage stitch segment. The first is by Heart and Hand Needle Art. That's the fabric I chose for the cube finish. And this seems to be, because I didn't find the original materials. Well, I didn't look for them because I didn't figure it out until after I got to the shop today. So I didn't look at home. But it looks like it was a 2010 kit called Harvest Jack by, did I say Heart and Hand? So I will check this week to see whether it's still available because I know that her website is maybe not 100% up to date. She said it's a big job and sometimes there are things on there that have gone out of print for whatever reason. So anyway, this is Harvest Jack. Then the second one is a free chart. Let's see. I found it. It was an Ursula Michael design for Hronec. And I forgot to check to see whether it was on their website. I highly doubt it because this is from 1998, but since I do have the original, I can make copies if anyone's interested. So it's called By the Light of the Moon. And they did theirs on a brown fabric. I don't remember even seeing the original. So I don't, in 1998, I don't think there was a website yet. So maybe we saw it at a trade show or something. But I chose a lavender linen. And this is put in a tuck pillow. We used to, I guess I never decided to put the buttons in the corners, but we had somebody make us these tuck pillows for various free charts. So I provided the fabric and then it was an easy kit to make for customers. And it's glow-in-the-dark Hronec thread. All right, then the last one is also one of the tuck pillows. And although I didn't find the original design when I was looking today, I know it's here someplace. It is a Sekas & Company. I can tell by the stitches that she used and also the fact that it's 10 count fabric and bulkier thread because that's what she used. So I'm sure I have it someplace. And I like the little swirly fabric for that, simple. And this is Heatherfield, which is, I don't believe it's, some fabrics are still available, but I'm not sure about the black. But there are other fabrics certainly that you could use. It would make a really cute little ornament. So I will look for those this week. All right, then I have an updated shop model. So the chart is called Which is the New Black? And it was on Stitchers Anonymous website. So you can find this. And I did the model on Picture This Plus 14 count Aida in Crystal Monster Mash using just plain, solid black floss. And I used a cauldron shaped, like fake chalkboard holder from Michaels. And I saw this idea on Homespun Sampler Facebook group back in September. And I know April Roberts, so I reached out to her and said, hey, how did you do this? So I didn't finish because I didn't actually find my box of pins. I found some, but I didn't have enough to finish. But anyway, I thought this would be a good way to show you what it looked like before and then what I'm doing to it. So basically, I had my framer, Bonnie, stretch this on foam core. So it's got pins there. And then we just attached it to the cauldron. And I meant to do something with it. I did this years ago. I can't even remember how long it's been on display. Just really plain, just, you know, sitting around with nothing on it. You don't really notice the pins, but still, I always meant to put some kind of trim around it, but I wasn't very confident in my finishing skills. So I saw April's design that she did, and I just loved the way it looked with the fabric scraps around it. So this is a $5 PDF on Fat Quarter Shop called Spookography. Yeah, Spookography. Ooh, that's hard to say. And April did hers, she mounted it on a, what did she say, a cheese board? The tag's too small, but I think it was a cheese board. So if you belong to Homespun Sampler, go to their photo section and scroll through until you get to September, and it was on September 9th. If you don't belong to that Facebook group, then join, because they have a lot of really nice finishes. And I'll just give you another close-up. So she used 1-inch straight pins, the flat top, but I couldn't find my box of pins. I didn't look very hard, but it's someplace at home. But let's see, I used white and black topped pins, ball topped pins. And I mean, you can't tell. It's probably cheaper to use the other pins if you're going to use a lot of them, but this isn't that big of a piece. So I started off by ripping. I kind of tore fabric. So I found some black and cream, and then I found a few different greens in my stash. They weren't necessarily Halloween fabrics, but I'm kind of a little disappointed that you can't see the designs on these, because there's a cat graphic and stars and skeletons and other Halloween things, but you can't really see. So I thought, well, I'm just going to grab some other green ones from my stash. But I thought 2 inches would be good for my size. And I started by just putting the pin in the center and then gathering it up and putting it in there, putting it into the side of the foam core. But it didn't stay in a nice shape unless you really crammed them in there. And then when you put them in so close together, you really couldn't see the fabric. So I decided, because I don't have April's phone number, or I might have called her, I folded it twice like this, and then I put a pin, of course I can't do it on camera, I put a pin through the end like that, so I was gathering all 4 pieces, and then I put it in, and then I kind of, pulled out the ruffles. And for some reason, I'll have to talk to April about this, and I'll update you if she has a trick. But that seemed to do a better job of holding the fabric in an interesting manner without having to cram it. So I will show you again. I'm actually even thinking of taking an iron and maybe pressing these a little bit when I'm done. But really, I mean, it looks cute like this. And so you don't really need Halloween fabric. You just need the right colors for your design, because you can't tell. You can't tell what they are anyway. Here, this last one is the skeleton. So cute. So anyway, that's my updated shop model, and I'm very excited about that because now I feel like it's really finished. Okay, so I did a video of several areas of my home. I didn't do as much as I would have liked because a week is not enough time before and after work to go up and down the basement stairs and look for things. And my Halloween was pretty much in the expected places. It's just unpacking everything and looking at it and going, where am I going to put this? Because I didn't have any photos of my Halloween decorating from past years, because the last time I did it was before I really started doing social media, and definitely way before I started doing FlossTubes. So I had no pictures to go by for where I had things. So I will insert that video here. It's actually a slideshow, but there is a little 30-second video of my Halloween tree, because when you just take a picture from one or two angles, you don't see all the ornaments. But I forgot that when I hold my iPhone and take the video this way, which got the whole tree, but when I do this and then I put it in iMovie, it cuts off the top and the bottom. But I didn't realize that until I went to do the video when I got to the shop. So I couldn't redo it because I was already here. So I think you can still see most of it. But then after each vignette or after the video of the tree, I do put individual pictures of the stitching that are labeled with the designer and the chart and whether it's a freebie or not. So then at the end, there are a few of my stitched pieces that just didn't find a place in a vignette this time. So I'll do better next year. Okay, so I'll do that here, and then I will do whips and new charts and the giveaway winner. So, okay, see you in a few. hope you enjoyed that. And if you had any other questions about the stitched pieces or anything else in the video, please reach out by email and I will try to help. All right, I had 3 whips that I worked on in the past week, and they're all Halloween. Hey, this is really a focused video this time. So I put a little more work into this Happy Halloween pumpkin party, and honestly, the charts are out of stock again, and I feel really guilty that I have this chart. So I'm probably going to put this away. I either need to sell this to somebody who's waiting for it, or I need to send this to the person who won it. So that's going to happen this week. So I think I'll probably put this away after Halloween, and then I'll just wait for the next batch of charts to work on it again. So you may have seen this on Facebook or Instagram, but I can't remember how much I showed at that time. So I started working on the word happy, and I think I stitched the word pumpkin, and then I started working on the white pumpkin. Now, it doesn't look so bad here, but let me tell you, when I was stitching at night in my family room using the white, and I decided to put it in a Q-snap because I just think white stitching looks better if you prepare your fabric a little bit better. And so I'm working in a small area with the white in my family room under my stitch lamp, but still the whole family room is like mood lighting. I thought, oh my gosh, this white is not going to show up. It's not going to show up. But the second night I did the same thing, and I thought, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And then I thought, no, it's not going to show up. So I decided that when I finish the whole thing, because there's a white moon over here, and then the word party is white, and I was really worried about the words not showing up. I considered removing the white and doing the moon and the pumpkin and the word party maybe in a gold tone or a different shade of orange. But I really like the white, and I have a collection of white pumpkins that I get out for fall. So I think I'm going to keep going. But if I really think it needs to be bolder, then I'm just going to go back and add another half cross on the top. So let me show you the chart again. Of course, it looks nice and bold here because this was not stitched. This is computer generated. So the white is filling it in like a full square, not a 1-strand X over 18 count hand-dyed Aida. You know what I mean? So of course it's not going to look as saturated a color as it does on the front. But anyway, we'll make it work. All right. Then I finished this Halloween free chart from Cottage Garden Samplings. I believe it was from 2019, and I was working on it in Terminal B because my photo from February of 2020, I was at an airport on the way to a mission trip. We were on our way to Mexico, and I had only put part of the word in, and I think the pumpkin stem. And the more I looked at it, I just didn't like the green pumpkin stem. I thought it looked too much like the black. But now that I have all the other colors on it, I think it's okay. It does show some variation of color. It's not as bright a green as the rest. So, you know, before I fully finish it, I could still change my mind. And the white tips of the candy corn don't show up that great this way. But, you know, up close, I think it's going to be fine. I may even add some candy corn decorations to the alternative finish just to play up that part. But it's really cute. And it was probably an afternoon waiting for a flight and then 2 other evenings, and it was fully finished. So this is on her website. And then, because I was still in a Halloween mood, I decided to get out the quirky Quaker jack-o'-lantern. I only had the pumpkin done without any of the black. So, and I was debating on what black to use, and I decided I was just going to use the black that I had out for the Halloween freebie, that happened to be onyx from the Gentle Art. So I was just working on that last night, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I do have some fun scrapbook paper, and I thought about getting a frame that was bigger than this and putting the scrapbook paper in the background and then finishing the small maybe as a round. But I noticed this frame in our ready-made section, and I thought, well, you know, I could always frame it if I wanted to. It has a little bit of, you know, rubbed off. It's like a warm brown, but it kind of looks orangey. So I thought I could use that, but it's a little heavy looking for the delicate design. I'm only using one strand, so it's not a really, you know, deep looking color. But if I finish it as a round, I could still maybe put it over padding and then have the fun fabric in the background, and that'll give it a little more depth. So that might work. So this is a possibility. So how many times have I said so in this video? So fun story about that onyx. When I went to start working on the Halloween free chart again, the skein of onyx was, of course, no longer with it because I had probably pressed it to show on camera when I did my recap of my freebie Februaries that year. And that's how my things get separated, because I prepare them for camera. And I probably borrowed the onyx to do something else. I looked all over. I looked everywhere for the onyx Weeks Dye Works. I looked in all these kits. Of course, I didn't have it in alphabetical order on my ring. I looked at a onyx that I had in the store, and it looked much greener than mine. And so I thought the new one wouldn't work, so I have to keep looking. Well, Shelly, maybe you should pay attention to the chart. No, it was onyx, the Gentle Art. So then I found it, and then I could finish it. So I was really glad I didn't have to rip out the black and restart it in something else. But I truly need to keep my threads with my charts next year and finish them faster so that I don't have the urge to remove them for other projects. Lesson learned, time wasted looking for it. Alrighty, and then we had some new charts come in this week. We had a couple automatics from designers, and then my Hoffman order also had some fun stuff in it. This is Souvenir Shop from Country Cottage Needleworks. It's part of their Beach Boardwalk series, and I think this is number 5. Then Erica Michaels has Come Back at Midnight. I love all the different lettering on that. For All the Seasons 2. Hark the Bells. And Letting Go. Then the hands-on automatic included Père Noël, and what was the other one? The Tree Lot. These were 2 from the Jingle Ball last year. All right, and then a Homestead Gathering was actually something that she designed a few years ago to show off a line of quilting fabric by her friend Julie. And I guess the name of Julie's company is Me and My Stitches, and they were working on it in 2020, and apparently Kathy maybe never decided what she was going to do with it, or never released it, or maybe she was thinking of saving it for a retreat, but she released it this year. So this is going to be my giveaway because it has 4 pieces in it, and somebody should like something out of it. It's a $14 value. So just tell me what your favorite hands-on design pattern is that you've stitched or that you haven't stitched yet. And if you've never stitched one of her designs, she's quite prolific. So I'm sure if you looked on her website, you would find something to comment. So I'll just get the winner from those comments. And then the last one from her is Enjoy the Stitch. All right, then Homespun Elegance. This is Stitch the Night Away. Strutting My Feathers. And Weird Jack. Ink circles had assembly required. And then the Primrose Automatic had Autumn Quilts. I Love Fall Most of All, which was their most recent Sip and Stitch. Christmas Quaker, Yes Please. I will be doing this one. And Christmas Trees and Stitching Please. So that's also very cute with the scissors and the thread spools. All right, then Carriage House Samplings. Sampler of the Sea on a horn book. And then Stardust from Carriage House Samplings. Sorry, same designer, different format, so I thought it was a new one. Twisted Pumpkin. I love these that only have a couple colors, and that is just such a perfect swirly frame, isn't it? All right, and then Jan Hicks in her Bird series, that's Mystery. Pins and Needles is a reprint from Prairie Schooler. And then Tiny Modernist has a new sale going the night before Christmas. It's a 4-part. This is part 2, but that was part 1 on a separate chart. I love that. I would like to just do that as a separate picture. So those were all the new charts this week. And the winner of the Spider Thread Keep is Joyce Taunton. And I do have her address on file because we've done business before, but I would just like her to confirm the address before I mail it. Alrighty. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I was wondering where the ornaments came from in reindeer games? A customer had reached out and said she thought she saw them at Hobby Lobby. And so my friend Bonnie went this week and found them and messaged me, and I went on my way home and I got 2 packs because I think they're adorable, and they could be painted different colors and you could use them for so many different other Christmas designs. They come with a ribbon. They're 6 in a pack for $2.49, but they were half price. And I see that she used the really fun baker's twine, which you can get in different colors too. And she painted hers red. I think they'd be really cute painted like that retro turquoise too. So anyway, didn't want to forget to tell you about those while Christmas is still 50% off. All right, that seems to be the end of my list. So I will see you again next week with a different backdrop. I will remove the Halloween and make it more fall. I'm heading into Thanksgiving, and I'll be doing the same thing at home. Okay, have a great week. Bye-bye.